I wanted to take a quick look at some of these photographs and just see what I could see. Today, just even to get ready for this video, I noticed a couple things. I see the word love. I see a heart. I see a capital L, a little O. So the other image I'm seeing too is in this giant thing, clump over here. I'm seeing almost what looks like a frogman, like those up googly eyes up above. I feel the mouth of the frog come down, and then I'm seeing this long arm, this sort of shoulder, I should say, buff shoulder. Then it's coming down through the forearm extended, and I see what looks like a wine glass. We already know that he was a drinker, she was a drinker. They wanted to quit, they didn't want to quit, they wanted to drink, they didn't want to drink. However that worked, but it is showing up here in a big way. And I figure that that's showing us that obviously with the addition of the alcohol, it would be more antagonistic. This image here, these three women, I see these three women in long skirts. I also see them sewing. I see this whole very sisterhood, motherhood kind of images striped along here. But this is not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for not that one, not that one, not quite that one either. Bear with me. Well, I'm going to show this picture a little larger. I'm going to hope that when it comes in, this is where I saw Brian holding her. Let's see if I can do this. Aha, I can. All right. Do you see how the image of this guy comes, the arm comes up here, the chest comes down here, full body chest. It almost looks like another arm is coming out here and he's curling it up. And you can see the head above there. It's a profile, almost looks like he's wearing a hat. And in there, I see the profile of a woman. She's wearing shoes, pants, shirt, hair's obscuring her profile, but you can tell it's a feminine, and she's being hooked in here by what looks like a big J hook. I've seen the same J a couple times, so I have to wonder if somebody with the letters J in is also part of this whole ordeal. But regardless, what I'm getting at is you can see this whole form of the woman in here, and it's quite something. Like she's just being held. So I think he really had her at his fingertips, I guess is what I'm seeing and saying. And that there was a lot of fist, might and fright to go with that. However, again, I wasn't exactly looking for this photo. I'm looking for one. Let's see if I can get to it. Hello, next. Let's go next. Let's go into this one. Looking for something particular. Okay, so we're starting to see it in these images here. All right, so I'm going to bring this in a little closer. Wonder if anybody can see this. I feel like this whole section here. Let's see how much of it I can get. I'm going to try to enlarge it a little bit more. Okay, yeah, all right. Now, does anybody see the image? This is a head, hair at the back, face down. This could be a long arm and a hand. This could be the back. This could be a leg outstretched. There's a leg missing here, broken. Does anybody see the sense that these are little sand duney kind of conglomerations of sand here, stretched up and down here, this whole section of the cup? I feel like this whole section of the cup has to do with the exact Bahamas location and things that will or have happened will happen or have happened in the Bahamas. Now, this is the sign that I saw earlier. I felt like it was almost worn down somehow that would mark something. I did feel like it was already in the location ahead of time. So if there's tiny little markers, almost like you'd see if you were on a trail or something, just kind of bobbing up around. So I saw that earlier. This image here is where I felt like this is Brian after an arrest. He's got these orange pants on here. He's got his hands behind his back here. And then he's got this green shirt on. Now, when I was looking at this today, just even to get ready for this video, I noticed a couple things. But let's first talk about this whole stretch. What if this whole stretch, what if this was an overhead view of some of those little islands, or right, isn't it a bunch of little islands side by side and over in that stretch, and water and little mounds and shallow water and this and that. And so I think this is some of the topography that she is in. I feel like this sounds terrible, but I feel like she's spread over sections somehow throughout the sandier spots too, if there's high parts or something like that, where some of the sandy parts are away from the waters, I wonder, but I still see the waters around her, so it's a little confusing. I'm not exactly getting the clearest indication of what to think about where she is, but I do get the sense that like I just see a woman's body here, and I just kind of hear her, going, I'm spread out. I don't know how that would be possible, or even where that's possible. The other thing I'm seeing too is if you turn, what if I can turn this? I can. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this back. Okay, so I'm wondering if anybody sees. Now, we get a different view here, vantage point of, okay, well, no, whatever. This is the back of Brian. He's got his hands behind his back. So I do believe that charges are going to come from the Bahamas. I see a very tall woman here with something on her head, dark skinned, whole front of her. This I feel where I thought it might have been a sign in the sand giving a little hint at where her body is and where he put her body, if he's the one who did it. Then this is like a giant gavel of some sorts, and I almost see this thing here as being like a giant laundry bag. Like, hey, we're gonna we're gonna air your dirty laundry here. And so I see that, but I also see it almost like this figure, this woman, that's her thigh, and her knee is coming out and her legs going in the back. So it's almost like the knee, like a genuflecting kneel. For some reason, I see this really interesting genuflecting kneel in there associated with this, but it does make me feel like these are the authorities of in the Bahamas doing whatever they're doing. So I kind of feel like their whole investigation is going on, obviously. Let me just see if I can turn this around and get the other view I wanted from here. Yeah, so back to what I feel about seeing her body. Where did it go? Okay, so I gotta go, whoops, I gotta go one more, two more, three more, I think. Let's see, get her back here. Okay, so this is, I feel her. So I don't know if it's possible that she would be spread across miles or anything like that, but I'm not sure if she's in one location. Or let's just, well, or in one piece, something along that line too, I'm kind of feeling. Now, all right, let me go back down here. I see, when I look at this photo, let me see if I can get the better one of it. Yeah, okay. So I see in this section, again, I'm seeing this as her, like she's down, like she's unmoving in this area, near the waters, near the sands, close enough to the edge, but not quite in it, that kind of a feeling. Almost dry land, but still not quite, almost like what maybe low tide and then high tide. But I see the number 75 in this. Let me see if I can see the best. Whoops. I don't know if anybody else can see this, but it's in this whole section in here. And I saw 35 when I was scanning, and I only saw it twice. I never saw it again. I cannot find it. But the 75 I keep seeing almost stenciled out on her back. And I also thought it also looks a little bit like a T, like T5. And then I thought, is that something to do with the vertebra, the spine, like so I see 7-5 there. That's what I see. I wonder if I can bring this up with the edit. Yeah, let's just see if maybe that make it any better. Nope. Lighter, maybe not. You get the idea, but that's what I see in there. What does that mean? And I keep getting these images of like up in here, right above her. She's spread out over here in the 7-5 or T5 or whatever that may be there. I still get these images of snorkeling. And I know that they had some kind of a tank, or they had tanks on board the Soulmate. And they had been recently filled. They'd been filled a day or two prior to when she went missing. So I just wonder if something's going on with those tanks. But anyway, let's get back to him being in handcuffs. Let's see if we can get that image back up here. Oops, one more turn. Let's see. Oh, I guess that's the edge of the photo. Okay, so I got to get another photo here. Or, yeah, he's not fully in this photo. Okay, let's see what else I saw in here. Here's a better one. Yeah, Brian in handcuffs. Let's see, sometimes you gotta turn these leaves around. I hear that expression, bring me to my knees. You know that sense? Something is going to bring someone to their knees. I feel like there's a lot of resources going in, Bahamian resources going into whatever they're going into, one way or another, even if they didn't keep him, if they had to release him and all the rest. I still feel like there's something that's being looked at, something that's being followed up on, for sure. So there he is. Put your hands behind your back. So I think he's going to get a conviction. I do, because he's got the green on up here. If he was fully orange, I'd say, okay, maybe he's going to get arrested but not convicted. But with the green up here, I think he gets arrested. I think he gets convicted. Yeah. Where will he do time? I don't know, but I feel like there's going to be multiple layers of charges, even if there's no body recovered. But I still feel like, I don't know, every time I look at this one section over here where I see her body on the side with the 75 on it, I've got to wonder if, I don't know what he did, but she may be stretched throughout a whole channel or something. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. Will they get away with it? Guess time will tell. Thanks for coming into my channel. And the number, that 75, is very curious. I don't know what to make of that at all. And I saw the 35, so I don't know if that's some kind of significance to anybody in their worlds, anybody in their lives. Not really sure. Hard to say. I don't know anybody who knows, but somebody knows. So, till next time. Bye for now.